Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of NHL20 franchise and GM mode. However, we are not playing as the Tacoma Walleye. We are now starting fresh with the Memphis Venom. We will be playing this with the salary cap. We got to the point in our last franchise where my budget was completely ridiculous, and I couldn't get the team any better. I couldn't get a coach that I, really could put a team around, and it was just miserable. So, I decided to start fresh, new career, new team, and see how we can go. I also made up the Bell Tire, the Louisville Bell Tire as my AHL team. At some point, Adidas had like 4 team logos. I guess they're AAA teams or something that they sponsor or whatever. I haven't looked it up to find out, but I never saw that pop up before in my logos. So I was like, oh, I'll use one of those. So that's why it's Bell Tire. So yeah, we're going to be the Memphis Venom, and we're starting from the get-go. Let's get into the expansion draft. Hopefully we do better this time than we did last time, because I will be paying attention to who my picks are. We're going to try to put a team together that my coach believes are players that will work within his system. That's what I did last time. The system will now fix some teams that are non-cap compliant before continuing. That's pretty much just going to be raising everybody's price tag across the league. But yes, we are keeping the salary cap on. That was the entire point of doing it this way. Otherwise, I'm doing everything the same way that I've done it before. We're just simulating everything. Maybe if we get to the Stanley Cup again, we will make an effort to watch the live games. But that's where it petered out last time, was we made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, and then we ended up falling flat on our face and losing in 6 games. So that pretty much sucked. I mean, it's the best the team had done to that point. But the franchise I was doing on my own, though, we won the cup in our very first year, so maybe we could do this again. All right, so advance to the expansion draft. Well, I figured I'd take a moment to welcome you to the Memphis Venom franchise. You have your plate full with the upcoming expansion draft, but I'll touch base again in a few days before the draft itself after I get a sense of who the other teams are going to make available. Okay, Mr. Owner. All right, so our cap floor is $60.2 million. We're definitely going to be close to the cap floor to start things out. So let's go. Oh, and also, as the franchise goes on, I'm going to be doing my damnedest to just swallow my love for certain players and release them or trade them if they're getting too expensive and I'm in a situation where I can't afford to have a successful team if I hold on to one player who's costing me a ton of money. I have a tendency to get emotionally attached to certain players for whatever stupid reason, because I might think they're cool or they were playing really well. I'm not going to do it this time. All right. That always annoys me. We get bumped to the 5th pick overall every damn time. Not that that's bad. I mean, we're going to have a good pick. But unfortunately, we can't get the 1st pick overall. Oh, and I also I include an extra contract year before I start a season. Or before I start a franchise mode, because it adds an extra contract year to everybody in the league. That way, you're not getting a player if they're supposed to be if they're supposed to have like 3 years on their contract. It's not going to suddenly turn into 2 years when you start the first season. So pretty much the decisions you make in the expansion draft tomorrow will decide whether the franchise sinks or swims in its first year. I'll be keeping a close eye on your choices, as will the fans. Okay. Well, we've got a pretty good fan base, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Alright. Advance to the expansion draft. That was taking forever to load. Alright. Auto-generate picks. I don't think so. So first thing we're going to look for is we are going to take a look at what goaltenders are available. Oi. Zane McIntyre. I'm pretty sure that I adjusted my free agent list, so I got rid of a couple people that were going to pop up like twice. I think I had one goaltender that was already on one of the created teams, and he was also in the free agency list, so I didn't want him doubling up. And I think I got Corey Schneider tossed out of the Bingham Devils so that he doesn't end up being available as well. Alright. Let's just pop through. Phoenix Copley, I've had him before on my team. Husker. Olaf Lindbaum. Olaf Lindbaum. I'm only curious here. Oh, I edited some players too, so so he's got 56 overall, but he's tagged as a potential starter. So I might nab him as my backup. At least get him in my system. There honestly is not going to be a lot of quality options out there. I mean, Anton Forsberg is decent, but so far Forsberg looks like the best starting goalie that's available so far. I take that back. We have Ken Appleby, who is an elite low, starting with a 75 right now, and he's only 24 years old, so he's going to get better. We're going to come back to him. Actually, we're not going to come back to him. We're going to take him now. Who do we get him from? Erie? Alright, so let's... Oh, slow down. Let's see who else is out there. Who else is available? Oops, we're still just looking for goaltenders right now. I'm not taking Furk again, I'll tell you that much. Because I've taken him in 2 different franchises, and both times that dude was like a real pain in the ass. Like, he was unhappy all the time, and I think it was affecting the rest of my team, and it's very aggravating. Alright, Ramo here with as a fringe starter. He wouldn't be a bad starting goaltender unless there's somebody available who's even better. Not yet. I'll look at Wedgwood. Former Devil. Or Devil prospect, I should say. I don't think he played many games from New Jersey at all. I mean, I'm sure, I know he did, but I think it was extremely limited. John Gillies, 77 overall, 25 years old, 2 years left on his contract. Dustin Wolf. Cool name. All right, John Gillies is possible. Oh, that's annoying. We've got double dams because he's playing for another team. Shit. I thought that happened somewhere. Well, hopefully that guy retires quickly. That's aggravating. And I know it's happened. I know that I know there's probably a couple other players that are in the same boat. Oh my God, we're taking Igor Zadorov. Holy crap. I can't believe they put all of their goalies up to be available. So this is actually a player I created. And I just threw him on the Wizards because I figured they're probably going to need somebody, but I didn't think that they were going to put him up as available. But if he's available, I am taking him because he's only going to get better. All right, so I've got an elite goaltender who's going to be around for a while. Now I don't have to worry about that elite low, that young kid who's going to need a lot of time to develop. All right. Who is available here? Oops. Was it here that they had the kid? No. The sucky thing is, these guys only have 1 year left each. So it doesn't really do me a whole lot of good. All right, we have a grinder. He can fit on a forward line. If we see somebody and it says like fits on the following lines and it says none, then we have to just let them go. And it can't just be all penalty killing lines or all power play lines or something. It has to be forward line or defensive pairing. It has to say that they're, they're good for that. All right, so we'll take Justin Vave, only because he's the best thing that we can get from Abbotsford. I constantly want to call it Abbotsville, which I know it's not. All right, Baltimore. Who you got? Philip Samuelson. AHL top 2 defenseman. Only 1 year left. Yeah, a lot of these players are probably not going to be on our team for very long. So, defensive defenseman. And he does fit, but lacks loyalty. Two-way defender. Can fit in the top 4 defensive pairings. Okay. He's a little bit older, but that's okay. He's only got 1 year left. So we can get 1 year out of him, and we can replace him. All right, Brooklyn was the one that had the young goalie, I believe. Right. Oh, so he's not even elite. He's just a starter. That's okay, because I do see a player that I want, and that would be Scotty Upshaw. He's only got a year left on his contract. He's going to end up costing me quite a bit, but he's 35. He's not going to be around that long. But I can get this season and a couple other seasons, hopefully, out of him. Is that Brian Flynn? Yeah, we had him before, too. So at some point, I ended up picking him in another franchise. All right, so Scotty Upshaw. Real quick, just make sure that he's going to fit in the team's schematics as a fourth liner. Really? I guarantee you he's not just going to be on the fourth line. He'll be getting pushed up most likely. All right, Assassins. John Quenneville. Solid player. Problem with him is that he's another one who tends to get kind of attitude-ish. But can I get fourth line at best? So it's not really going to do me a lot of good. So we got this guy, power forward. He can fit on our top line. So it's him or Twolola. Top 6 defenseman, 2-way defender, top 4. All right, you know what? That's who we're taking. Sometimes you just kind of have to shrug. Anton Blythe. I had Anton Blythe on my other franchise, and he just kind of always sat in the minors, and we never really got too much out of him. But to his credit, he did his job. Fourth line. All right, let me just make sure. All right, so that's the best we can get. And we get 3 years for him. Okay, Brock Little, 31 years old, left wing, sniper. Very well-rounded personality, meshes well with any room. That's also important, by the way, guys. Personalities. If you got players that have a tendency to have a bad attitude, it affects the other players' morale, especially like the players that they're particularly close friends with get affected by their morale. So, and that works positive and negative. So if you have a guy who has like his top 3 friends or like your, you know, like your top guys on the team, and he's playing really well and his morale is really high, it's going to help them boost up. But at the same time, if he's in a bad mood and, you know, he's disgruntled, it's going to drag those guys down as well. So you can't have that locker room cancer. Okay, sorry, I had to take a drink. All right, so I've got 3 left wings already. I need center. I need everything else. So I can... I mean, I haven't filled in my left wings yet, but we don't need to fill them all up right away. Okay. Nate Prosser, 33 years old, 3 years left on his contract. Defensive defenseman. And he fits in all defensive pairings. So Nate Prosser is a good grab. Those are always really good to get. If it's like, you know, he can fit in any of our schematics. Like if you can use him as a plug-in player for anywhere on your lines. we have anybody with better potential? Is that's just the best they got, huh? Okay, Jacob McDonald. I think I had him on another team as well. Another defenseman. Two-way defender. Top defensive pairing. Good for power play and penalty kills. Good locker room leader and is very loyal. That's what I like to see. Alright. So we took Appleby. Oh, he was the elite low. Okay. So that's not a bad and if my starting goaltender ends up just being a stud for a long time because I think he's only 18, I could trade Appleby and get something awesome for him. We'll see. Okay, Yin Yang. Who do you guys have? Martin Firk. Nope. But look what we have here. Tobias Bjornfot, 75 overall, 18 years old, still has 4 years left on his contract. Which is funny because he's making $925,000 a year. On that contract, that's kind of crazy. He was a first-round draft pick by Fresno Yin Yang. How's that possible? We didn't even... What? Drafted by Fresno? That's not possible. Okay, whatever. Defensive pairing 2. What kind of defender was he, by the way? Two-way defender. Okay. Okay, the Garland Heroes. Mika Salamaki, are you going to be my last priority left wing selection? Two-way forward. Doesn't fit in any of our lines. So, unfortunately, no, we're not going to pick him up. Real quick, what do your goalies look like? Oh, Sebastian Dom. So he's here and he's also in Niagara. He's 32 years old. No. I was considering taking him just to kind of like keep him from playing out in the league, but I don't know who else they have on their team. He might not get much time. He might end up just going to free agency. But unfortunately, okay, he's a fourth line forward, so that doesn't do much for me. Top 6D, Lawrenson, 1 year left. But does he fit? Top 4 defensive pairings. And he's a consummate professional. Alright, that is the attitude that we want on our team. So, our defense is filled. At least in terms of, like, we have the minimal amount of defensemen. Okay. Bo Bennett. Bottom 6. 2 years left. Relatively cheap. He'll be a right wing, which we need. A sniper. We need people who can score goals. Forward line 1, very good. Passionate about winning. Can be emotional. That's fine. Whatever. Take him. Still don't have any centers. Wimpel. I had him before. And he was a slow developing player. I mean, maybe. Sniper. Alright, so he lacks loyalty. Alright, well, that means that he's a early trade away or something like that. And so be it. Alright, so our left side is got the minimum amount. Okay, right winger, young, has 2 years left. Top 9. Two-way forward. Forward line 3. The only thing is it's dark gray, and so it's like we're not 100% sure if he's gonna fit, which is aggravating. We still don't have any centers. Merch. 3 years left with Rhett Gardner. Rhett, do you fit our scheme? Are you bottom 6 forward lines? Okay, that's fine. We'll take that. And so those of you that are, by the way, that are big hockey fans and recognize ECHL teams, yes, I did use some of their logos, like the Indy Fuel. Same thing with the Jacksonville Icemen. Like, you know, I kept the name and everything else simply because it was easy, and it's easier to make teams with decent-looking logos instead of just the same boring stuff that a lot of the pre-existing custom logos are. They're just kind of like, eh. 2 years left is a 7th D. But we have a right wing here and a right wing here. Drew LeBlanc. I think I had Drew LeBlanc on a team before, but he's only got 1 year left here. But I need centers. How about Ryan McInnes? Bottom 6 forward lines. Okay. The other thing is when you're dealing with a salary cap, you can't try to load your team up with like a million amazing players either, or it's going to bite you in the ass. So right now we need 2 centers, 1 right wing, and we'll have the bare minimum, and then we can just cherry pick the rest of the way. Not that that's going to taking players if I think it when I need. All right, bottom 6 forward. And Bergman. 4 years left on his contract, only 20 years old. We don't know anything about him. Two-way forward. Doesn't fit in any of our lines. Let's take the risk on the kid here. 4 years left. So we can just kind of see how this ends up. J. Kim, Jacksonville Icemen. Alright. Corey Connick. Okay. Consummate professional. Let's bring him in. And it's not like we have to keep left wingers on the left wing. We can play them on the right wing, and vice versa. And we can play centers wherever, you know. I just prefer to try to keep exactly what their position is. I try to keep them playing those positions. Nick Lappin. I took Nick Lappin before, and then he never played. So I feel like that would be a waste of time. AHL top 2. Brent Regner. Maybe? Well, he fits on a lot of lines, so... Good to have that extra defenseman. London. Schmaltz. And Aberg. I'm just curious about something. Well, here's the thing. I've taken Schmaltz before. And yeah, he was awesome, so I'll definitely take him again. The main wicked. You guys don't have a lot available here. What about goalies? 77, huh? Except, if anything, I would need a goaltender that's like a project. Okay, this one here. Alright, so top 4D. Defensive defenseman, fits in all, incredibly loyal, even, alright, we're definitely taking him. Fits all defensive pairings. His personality is good. Alright, so we're full on defense. So we don't need to fill that up anymore. We still need centers. We're still going to need another goalie, and we're still going to need another right wing. Jerko. Thomas Jerko. Or 3 years left with Gambardella. Two-way forward. Top 6 forward lines. Okay, so he could be he could be a fit on all that. I just want to see what Jerko's listed as. I mean, he's second round pick originally, and he's a sniper. He doesn't fit on any of our lines. Oh well. Okay. Well, we got more versatility here with Mr. Gambardella. So left wing's filled, defense filled, center and right wing. Still need 2 centers, still need a right wing, and still need a goalie. Okay, 2 years left. Brian Froese. Doesn't fit in any of our lines, so nope. What about Alan Quine? Playmaker. Doesn't fit in, man, that's a bummer. A playmaking center. What about Derek Waugh? 36 years old. Doesn't fit either. Man, that's a pain in the ass. Because again, it's like I said before, guys. You see players that you're like, oh man, they'd be great to like throw on our team, but then it's like they don't fit what your team needs. Ah, here we go. All right, so Patrick Hager can fit. So he's not as top quality of a player. He fits better on the team. And you don't have to have players that are necessarily gonna fit the scheme of the lines, but it helps. Like if you have a player who, if you get a playmaker, a sniper, and a power forward all on the same line, that already gives you a bonus. So it can kind of even out if like maybe one of your players isn't best fit for that line. Instead of getting like a +3, maybe you only get a +2 or a +1, but it helps. So if the guy doesn't absolutely fit, it's not the end of the world. But of course, I'm trying to find people that will fit. This guy looks like he smelled a fart. Let's see. I still need a center, a right wing, and a goalie. Wayne Simpson. Only 1 year. Top 6 forward lines. Okay. Right wing has been selected. We need a center. We need a goalie. We still got teams left to choose from. So it's not like we have to get those here, but real quick, goalies. Nobody. Well, Sen is possible just to sit in the AHL, but I don't know what good that's really going to do me. Matt Tennyson, however. But then we got Vukocevic. He's young. I'll have to sign him. I think I'll have to sign him to a entry-level contract right off the bat. Well, he will fit. All right, so he's a good pick for defense. Still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks left. Landon Ferraro. Well, that didn't change that order at all. What do your goalies look like real quick? Oh yeah, there's the other Dom. We got Sebastian Dom and Sebastian Dom. We got 2 Doms. Dom. They're a pair of Doms. That's right, I made that joke. 1 year left. They all have just 1 year left. Okay, his personality's good. He's a good fit. Let's go. One more center. And one more goaltender, and we'll be squared away. Patrick Eves. See, here's a guy who I've taken him in 2 different franchises both times. Like, he'd play really well, and then as soon as his contract was up, he's like, nope, I'm out of here. Basically gave me the finger and split. So I am not going to make that mistake again. All right, we got 2 years left on Sam Carrick. Forward line 2. We don't know much about his personality, but that's okay. Take the risk. Alright, so now I just need a goaltender for one of these last 3 picks. So let's see. No, I have to take Heinola. As long as he fits defensive pairing. Yeah, he's a big deal, so we are definitely taking him. Alright, so we got plenty of defense, so do we have... Oh, wait. I can't take, this is it. This will be my last selection, so... Because I forgot I already picked from the Wizards. We got our starting goaltender from them. Alsner, I remember getting him on another franchise, and he ended up being a real thorn in my ass. Look at your hair. An overall 72. Ideal leader, okay. He's most likely going to be playing for our AHL team. I just want to make sure we selected from every team. Make sure I didn't choose or skip anybody. Alright, so there we go. Yes, I want to submit my draft picks. So it's going to be an interesting team. I'm also going to have to edit the title of this video because we're not going to really be able to start the season since we're already going to be coming up on an hour. Okay, we don't bother with draft interviews because it doesn't really do us any good. Well, actually, this might be the only one where it's worth doing a draft interview. Let's look at the draft class. Let's see who's available. See who it's looking like we're getting 5th. Probably Dylan Faber. Solomon Green, the only player in this draft who's NHL ready. Just skipping along a little bit to see if there's a steal in here at all. I don't think there will be. Wait a minute. Cameron Oljevic. I created this player. But I didn't like max his, I didn't max a lot of these guys to like try to make all of their skills and stuff like crazy so that you're like, oh man, you know, clearly this dude's cheating. Like, that wasn't, it's not the case at all. I make their potential a certain way and then I'm like, okay, we'll see how it plays out from here. I mean, Dylan Faber looks like that's going to be the one to go after. It's looking like our next bit we'll have another decent goaltender. Oh my God. Well, I hope that we can select him when our second pick comes up, because that would be a hell of a snag. Alright, so Ultravic, we're not going to get him, but that's okay. So let me look, once again, let me look at, just hit this real quick. Actually, real quick, do they have any gems in this hole? No, just 3 busts. Joe Carroll, Logan Barlage, Marcel Barinka. How would you like to be one of these kids and find out, oh yeah, the game has you listed as a bust? Like, that would suck. All right. So it's looking like we'll be probably picking him. It's a playmaking center. He just doesn't have the sniper on the left wing. I mean, he's got better stats than this kid. He's a top 6 forward. I mean, we'll probably take Sarvis if he's available. His Faber looks like a kind of a letdown. Datsuk looks like a better, definitely looks like a stronger choice. And we definitely have to avoid people that have a injury prone as much as possible. Okay, so I think we're going to go for Datsuk. I think we're going to pass on Faber. And then the rest of the selections, we're going to try to pick the elite level selections, whoever those happen to be. All right, pass on the draft interviews. Let's go to the draft. Expansion draft is behind us. Now we need to we have a core of players to build around. Next is NHL entry draft, and once it's complete, I'll touch base with you again in a few months to discuss my expectations for the franchise, and you in particular. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about the trade block. Now is not the time. Not in the very first draft. All right, so this is all I'm going to do in this stream, by the way, guys. We'll get through the entry draft, and then we'll go through our contracts, because there's going to be contracts immediately that I've got to sign. Like I said, I think I've got at least 1 or 2 people who have to have their entry-level contract signed. So we'll go through that, and we'll go right up to free agency, and then I'm going to pause it. My band is playing tonight. We're doing a live broadcast on Facebook, so if you're interested, you'll probably be seeing this well after the fact, but look up the band I'm Done and check us out. There's probably going to be a couple videos by the time you look at it. And you can check us out on Bandcamp. You can watch me scream and yell and look like an idiot on the microphone. You know, it's entertaining because we can't play real shows, and let's face it, we're all starved for things to do. So watch and have a good laugh. But what I will do is I will get us up to the free agent section. Then I'll end the stream. Then later tonight, I'm going to come home. I'm going to go through the players that I have. And I'm going to assess where my needs are and what free agents are available and who I want to pick and all that stuff. So, yeah, we'll do that when we get to it. So first, let's get through this draft. Who got selected? So far, everybody got picked according to what we thought they would pick. Okay. Yeah, and this entry draft, if you notice, like, these players aren't even that amazing. Because usually, like, your first selection, their overall on a draft would be like an 80 or higher. And the first one's a 76 and a 70, and yeah, I don't expect a hell of a lot out of these guys. And even though he's listed as an elite, Faber doesn't look as good as Datsuk, so let's take Datsuk. And I don't need a goaltender, so we're not gonna skip. Alright, so he's a top 6 forward. He's got a 65 overall, so let me write that down. I write these down, I write down the players and their overalls when I select them, and their potential. Just that way, when I have trade offers given to me, I have a chance to consult the lists that I have, and like, if someone's offering me a 7th round pick for someone who was a 2nd or 3rd round selection, I'm like, no, I'm not making that trade. But there's been a lot of times where someone who like was selected in like the 6th round, and they're like a bottom 6 forward, medium or something. It's kind of like, all right, so they're not that big of a deal. But I'll have a team offer me like, here, I'll give you this year's 3rd and next year's 3rd for him, which to me, I'm like, okay, I'll take that. And it's weird because like it's the only time, like when you're going through the off season, through the free agent period, those are the only time that those like lopsided picks or those lopsided trade offers that actually favor me get offered. Because throughout the season, it's always like, hey, here's some crazy deal we'd like to make that would totally not help you. Here, take these 2 super expensive players, and we'll take your 1st round pick and your best prospect. Like, yeah, no thanks. All right, so getting into the 2nd round. Let's get through this. Wait, what? I thought I hit down. Apparently not. Come on. There we go. All right, now, is that player that we were looking at, is he still going to be available? Damn it, I'm pretty sure that was him, wasn't it? Yeah, I think that was the player that I had hoped for. Bummer. Again, I don't really need a goaltender, so that's not that big of a deal. Oh look, it's Jackson Bellamy. I've chosen him before, and he never really did much for me. Elite medium on Nicholas Sim. What did it say? Loyalty is a concern? Do we have anybody else that's an elite? Oh, we got a few choices here. All right. We got 2 goaltenders that are... But what do we have here? Heavy slap shot, leadership ability, but he's injury prone, which immediately makes me say no. Even though he's a good leader. Alright, you know what? We're going to select... Well, let me just see if it just happens to have any... Oh, look at that. Loyalty is a concern. Alright, well, you know what? We can see what we can get out of him. Usually I only select Xavier Wilcox. Leadership ability. He's a leader, but... Alright, well, if loyalty is a concern with Sim as well, let's take the shot with Xavier Wilcox here. Alright, bottom 6 forward. Not what I was hoping for, but, you know, whatevs. Probably should have gone for that top 4 defenseman that was available. But I didn't, did I? That's okay. This is all okay, because this particular draft is just kind of an extra draft. Eggenberger. So now we're starting to get into the... These picks aren't going to be so substantial. Top 6 forward. Leadership, elite speed, and quickness. Let's see what we can get out of this kid. Well, AHL top 6 forward. Is that what it said in the first place? Because I'm pretty sure it just said top 6 forward. In fact, I know it did. So all of a sudden... Was he one of the guys that was listed as a bust and I wasn't paying attention? He might have been. If so, there's egg on my face. AHL top 6. Man. Can't believe I did that. All right. What do we have here? I'm just going to go for elites now because I think I've drafted him in every single draft. And he has never panned out. He's never panned out. I think it's just because I like his name is D'Artagnan Jolly. It's probably pronounced Jolie, but D'Artagnan Jolly, like, that amuses me. Alright, Do we have any other elites? All the way down here, huh? Tony Bennett. Well, the consistency on offense and defense scares me, so... yeah, whatever. We'll take the risk of just going for Trojanovic and... or Trojanovic, however you pronounce it. Might not be a top 9 and maybe an AHL player, but... bottom 6. I mean, again, we aren't going to be... We're not going to be in bad shape when we have these extra contracts sitting around because we can trade them off. Even if all I end up doing is trading contracts for 7th round picks, if I can pull that off, that's fine. Because there's nothing wrong with having a bunch of 7th round picks. Especially because you never know what you find in those deep 7th rounds. You find a lot of elite lows or elite mediums, and they may be a project. Whoa. You're going to give me an extra 7th and a 5th round for next year. You know what? Why not? It's not going to hurt. I get an extra 7th this time. And actually, hold on. I got to fix something real fast. So, 5th round. Sorry guys, I'm just marking something down. Alright, we'll take that. So who did they end up... Did I just decline that? Oh no, we're in the 6th round. Hold on, I want to see... Who do they pick? An AHL top 6 forward, so that really didn't work out in their favor, did it? They had high hopes for that guy, and then didn't quite work out the way he'd hoped. Liam Howell. I've gotten him before as well. And I will say, it took him, it's taken him a while to develop. But he ended up being a power forward, and he was a reliable center. It took, like I said, it took a bit for him to develop, but when he did, he was a solid player. Which I think I said exactly that same sentence a moment ago. Okay, so top 9. $66 overall. All right, so we're going to have 2 7th round selections here, which is cool. Wait. Valeri Zaitsev. Injury prone, a whole bunch of D's. Ugh. Curtis Austin. Patience, poise, poise. Oh. offensive defenseman. Okay, we might take him. Let me see real quick. Alright, so odds are we're going to be able to get another decent player, so we're going to go for Curtis Austin. It's what usually happens. We usually end up with, in the 7th, we get like 7th D out of these elites in the 7th rounds. But, again, we can always trade it away. We can always trade it away, and also sometimes they end up being something, so. Nazarov. Two. Thomas Laymanen. Not really a steal. What do we have out of Harry Courtnall? Courtnall's probably gonna be. I've got so many defensemen though. Elite speed. Quickness, defensive zone play. You know what? I'm going to go for this. Top 9 for a 7th round selection. Not bad. I know I picked him in another franchise. I think I picked him, or maybe he was traded to me. I don't recall really using him, though. But once again, it does not hurt to have that asset. Okay. So that is my 2019 draft. So then we can get out of here. Same entire draft. Draft is now complete. All right. That last guy's name was Bukak. All right. Good timing too, because I gotta throw some clothes on that are presentable to be outside in front of other people. I was gonna say I better not have anybody who's gonna become a restricted free agent. That would be a hell of a stupid pick on my part. All right, so what contracts do I have to worry about? I know there's at least Vukocevic, or however you say his name. Scott Upshall. He's going to be expensive, but that's okay because we need to hit the cap basement anyway. So whatever he's asking for. 2 years? What if I offered you 3 years? To the point where you'll be 38 years old. And if I offered you 655. I forgot that I had Scotty Upshall on my roster here. Ferraro should be cheap. Relatively. Try to get 4 years out of you for an even 3 million. As a 73 overall, Vukocevic, yes. Here is your entry-level contract. Start developing with that crazy poofy hairdo of yours. Ragnar. That's fine. We'll just offer exactly what you're asking for. He's probably only going to want 1 year. 2 years? Okay, you'll be 36, so we'll offer that. I hate, by the way, when someone's like, the years that I want is this. The money I want is this. Like, here's the terms, and you offer them exactly what they're asking for. And then they come back to you like, I don't think your offer was good enough. I think, you know, I'm worth more than what you've offered, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, then how come you didn't ask for more? Like, that's very annoying. Geez, there's quite a few people who, I know he only wanted 1 year, but I'm going to try to get a few more years out of him. Little doesn't want to, an extension, so he might just say no flat out, which is fine. I don't really care. But right now, I at least want to have a team. I would at least want to have a, you know, a team that I can build. I can build around, and that includes having AHLers that are competent to help develop, because it does help your, like, if you sign a kid to an entry-level contract and then he comes in, like, say you have him start and he's like a 63 overall. Well, if he's playing with, you know, good players, odds are that 63 is gonna boost up pretty quick. Depends on what his potential is as well, but I mean, it will definitely help. It'll help make that happen faster. What do you want? You only want that. That's fine. I'll offer you 70. 750. Yep. There you go. It's a professional American Hockey League player. Now goalies. All right, so Zadorov, we've got for a few years. We've got for 3 years, right? Appleby should not be asking for the moon. He is, though. He's kind of asking for the moon. That's all right. This is what he wants. Then we'll offer him that. But he will not be a priority. And then we got this character who doesn't even want He doesn't want to renew. But what does he want? Nah, see, I'm going to get you on here for 3 years. And I offer you $150,000 more than what you're asking for. Because I need somebody who's at least a competent minor league starter. I'm going to have 42 contracts right off the bat. And that's before I even get into free agency. However, I think a few of them are probably trade bait, so I'm not going to sweat it too much. All right, so, and Little, like I said, I think he might just say no because he didn't want an extension. All right. Renew contracts with a team you've never played for before. That's, Yep, Brock Little said no. Some more money can change your mind? Kiss my ass, dude. Oh, you're not good enough? That's fine. I'll pick up someone else. Jerk. See, look at these other players. Look. Look at all these other guys. They're loyal. They're excited. They're excited. These guys are pumped. You know, you got a chance to start over with a fresh team, possibly become, you know, a big deal on that team. But no, you don't want to do it. Oh, I'm not going to have 42 contracts. That was, I had 29 contracts because these were all being renewed. Okay. Well, Brock Little, you can F off. Because we don't need your type around here. We don't need whiners. Some of these guys might be ready to get seasoned in the AHL, but I'll figure that out when it comes time to go through free agency later on, because right now those other guys are all sitting there on entry-level contracts, and I don't need to sign them right away. About to hit free agent frenzy. And I'm only doing this day by day instead of just simming directly up to free agency, because I want to see if there's anything that pops up like this. Alright, let me guess. Both of our first round picks are sitting there on the trade block. Yes, of course, always. And I'll leave Datsyuk on there because, like, he was a good selection, but he's not an amazing player. So if I get a big offer for him, I'm going to take it. Because you never know. It's a player like that, I might get offered a first-round pick because he was my first-round selection, and you never know. The game does weird stuff from time to time. Although I think odds are I'm not going to get any offers. Nothing significant, at least. All right. And everything else can just get offered to me. I have 28 contracts, and I will end up with 28 contracts, but that's okay because I still need to sign free agents because we are well below the basement of the salary cap. So, all right, guys. Oscar Lindbergh. Create new file. And that'll do it. All right, I will be on later tonight, and I'll show you the selections I've made, the free agent picks that I've done, and then we'll get through the first season, and then we'll go into the postseason in another stream after that. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope that you're enjoying it. Hopefully, this franchise goes better than the last one did. Anyway, I hope you guys are all staying healthy, staying safe. I hope you're all washing your hands and keeping proper distance, being smart, not being afraid. So anyway, if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe, hit that notification button, do all the YouTube stuff, and until the next time, as always, peace.